All right, we are up on the roof again. I'm going to start cutting out these rotten sections of decking that's up here. And I'm just gonna take it over here to this seam. I don't think there's a need to replace the whole thing, to be honest with you. There may be. Let me look over here. That looks like it absorbed a little water at some point, but it is not. Look at that, a couple of screws that it pulled through. I'm gonna need to pull those out. It's not bad. The rest of this is actually in excellent shape. It's just this corner over here. So I'm gonna take it to the seam here. And then I would like something to go across here that I could screw to. So I may add in a piece. That way it'll be something solid to screw into here. We'll section this off. That way it'll be a nice square cut whenever we replace the other piece of plywood or OSB. And then this over here, this is really soft where I'm standing. And I don't know, I think it's because those trusses have been compromised over here on this end. Now that I think about it, I may just rip out this whole piece and this piece and just replace both of them. That might be the smartest thing to do, then I don't have to worry about it. The rest of this wood's in excellent shape, so that would give me a little more of a peace of mind, and I can use it for a template to cut my holes in the other one. In this one, I'm covering it up completely, so I can just rip it out and then start working on repairing those trusses. So maybe we'll do that. I haven't got as much done today as I wanted to. Some things have just kind of drug along, so that's just the reality of it. I really need to get this cranked up. We got a little stretch of nice weather, so I want to get all the rotten wood replaced. I want to get everything insulated. I want to get the new roof on and get everything back up on top. That way we can shift our efforts to the interior, which is going to be some work too. So that's the plan. Let's see if we can figure out, looks like there's a lot of nails in this thing. So let's see if we can figure out how to pry it up without tearing everything up and get these things off. All right, well, I got busy and forgot to record, but all I did was pry this one piece of plywood off the top. Pretty straightforward. You don't need me to show you how I did it, but I will say it had so many nails. I mean, look at that. It was on there good, but we got it off. No big deal. So I'm gonna use this for a roof, a loose template. And another discovery down here, this stuff is rotted out beyond all belief under here. So I got to figure out how to replace that. I don't know if I can just slide a piece in there or what, but that's gonna have to be done somehow. And that I mean, it's rotten all the way across. It gets a little better in the middle, but then look at this. That is just, I mean, unbelievable. The plywood's rotted, everything is rotted. So I got to figure out how to do that. I have no idea, so I'm gonna have to do a little homework. Everything above it is okay, you know. There's that moisture barrier that's under there that has done a decent job on everything up above. I'm gonna go up top, look at that other end, maybe start trying to pry that board off, or that piece of OSB up top, and then I'm gonna go over to the hardware store, the lumber yard, and get some wood so I can start trying to patch some of the stuff together. That's where we're at right now. Let me get this mess out of the way so nobody steps on it or so it doesn't fall over on one of the kids, and we will get going with that front piece. All right, well, we are going to start ripping out this front piece here where we have all of the water damage from the leak around the antenna. As soon as I get that done, I'm gonna head over and get the wood that I need to start fixing this thing, and we'll start cutting and patching stuff together and reinforce this ceiling so I can get that OSB back on there, and then we'll get everything cleaned up. Actually, I'll pull that termination strip off the front, we'll get that off of there, and then we will go ahead and lay that roofing material in the near future. So that's gonna be good. So let's get this going and see what it looks like under there. So I'm gonna go around the edge of this and make sure that we don't have any nails or anything that's gonna keep this plywood from sitting flush. So I'm gonna check all of that, and then I'm gonna get everything staged up. The plywood is up here. I'm going to glue everything. I'm gonna put some marks on the end so I can snap a chalk line where these trusses are. That way I can screw into those and not miss anything. That way we can get it fixed up there solid. So we're gonna get everything staged up. I'm probably gonna throw in some staples too from my pneumatic brad nailer or whatever it's called. I'm a little hesitant on the screw heads. Yeah, I'm gonna sink them down as flush as I can, but I don't want anything rubbing on the membrane, the roofing membrane that we're gonna put up here. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing prepped up, and then next time we check in, we're going to try to get this thing on here. So that's where we're at. We are one step closer. I don't know why I decided to wrestle with this thing for a bit, but it's fit. Everything is fit nicely. I've got it all screwed down, and everything's flush. I'm gonna put seam tape on these seams and then around these sharp edges, just as a preventative. Make sure we don't have any unnecessary wear and tear there. Next up is finishing up this corner here, and then I will cut for those. We will slap this piece into place, and then the roof will be ready, minus cleaning up. There's a lot to be cleaned up. I still have to take this off and get that dressed up, but that's not a problem. So yeah, we'll put some seam tape on like you can see here. We'll get this off and we'll put new stuff on there, and then yeah, it should be ready for the EPDM roofing material, and then we will move on to the next phase, which is all the rotten stuff down at the bottom. So a lot of the wood that I've been uncovering looks pretty good so far, but the bottom, the very bottom, and a lot of the floor decking is garbage. So we're gonna work through that. Not a big deal, it's just gonna take a little time. I got the old sheet of OSB that came off the top, and I got it lined up on top of my new plywood here. So I'm all set up. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these two holes. I may mark this one and go ahead and cut it too. This one obviously is not quite good shape. I could mark a couple of sides there. I don't know, but for sure we'll get these marked, and I want to get these. If I can get these cut, I can fit this piece of plywood and maybe get it buttoned up today. So that's the goal, and that's what we're gonna do now. All right. We finally have this sheet up here temporarily after a lot of setbacks, mostly user error. And then one other one, whenever I finally got it up there to dry fit, it was actually about, I don't know, 3/8 too long on that edge, down to about 5/8 too long or too wide, 5/8 extra on this end. So I had to measure that, snap a chalk line, and cut the excess off. Holes from pipes lined up pretty good, can't complain there. I may have to take just a hair off of this side once I get in there, but I'm okay with that. And I had used the other sheet of OSB to kind of dry fit these, and it was rotted out around where the skylight is, so I was only able to get these two sides cut, but I figured that's a good start. We will mark the rest from the inside, or I'll just cut it from the inside when it comes time. I'm not too picky either way, but I just took the brad nailer and slapped a couple of brad nails in each corner just to hold it in place. Not a lot, but there's supposed to be some wind tonight, so I wanted to get it fixed and kind of shaping, and then I wanted to prevent the wind from trashing the rest of the insulation and all that good stuff. So that's where we're at right now. I will get this thing tomorrow. We'll get her glued and get everything screwed into place. Finally starting to get it covered. I'm just patching in an hour at a time, so it drags on a bit. But we've got it in place, and we will permanently install it next time we're out here. So this sheet of plywood is just sitting up there. We kind of stapled the corners just to hold it on briefly. You can see I pre-cut these holes using the old sheet for a template, and we're just a hair off, so just on this side. The other side fits great, so I'll clean that up. We have the skylight over here that I was able to trace part of it because of what was left. Half of it was rotted. I guess it rotted off already, so I wasn't able to cut the whole thing. So I'll, this is off a little bit here, which I can clean up. I'll get the saw, my Sawzall, and cut it from the inside and make sure that's all trimmed up. But for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go outside, we're gonna pull this piece off, we're gonna make sure everything's in place up top and that we're good to go. And then I'm going to get the construction adhesive out, cover everything up that we need to make sure we get a solid bond between the plywood and the trusses. And then we will get this thing stabbed on here and secure it up. And then we can start getting everything prepped for the new roofing material. So that's where we're at. We have this final piece secured up here. We're good to go there. Like I said earlier, we still have to cut out the portion here for the skylight, but we'll do that from the inside. So this one looks pretty good. It's just a hair off on this side over here. I need to shave off just a scotch bit there. I'll do that from the inside, but we're good to go here. So next thing is going to be undoing this, cleaning that up, getting it where I can get the roofing material up under there. And I'm gonna tape all of these seams. And believe it or not, we may try to get the roof on here in a little bit. I'm hoping the wind stays down. If not, we're gonna have to work around that. But next step, taping the seams, getting the front prepped up, and seeing if we can get the roof on.